So it's a crime. It's an issue of justice.
Yeah.
It's an issue of human rights.
Yeah.
How does it get solved?
Solutions. We have the local solutions and the global solutions.
Okay.
The local solutions find that the buck stops with us, the Kenyans, and the Kenyans living in slum areas. One, we believe that the slums are developing because, one, there is neglect, there are maybe corruptions, there is a lack of transparency, poor planning, as my brother David said. So all this, if they are solved by the government in Kenya, then we could see there is growth, and then there will be eradication of poverty. But if they are not solved locally here, even if the other people outside Kenya will come up in assistance, then it will take time. And then global, outside Kenya now, there is also a way forward in solving poverty. One, people from outside can come up with their different ideologies to bring on board for the solutions, like assisting in different areas, uplifting different areas, and then they'll sum up to solutions.
So those who are experts in tackling poverty would say that there's two options. There's the option of the top down, and the option of the bottom up.
Yeah.
So the top down option is the rich countries give lots of money to the poor countries. Yeah. So America said it was going to give 0.7% of its GDP, and if it honoured that pledge or that promise, billions more dollars would be invested into Kenya or other countries. It's only giving 0.07%. Yeah. So it needs a 100-fold increase of what it's presently doing. That's a top-down method. Does the top-down method work? Handouts, big, huge sums coming into governments, does it work?
I think the top-down method has both some advantage and some disadvantage, especially in Kenya, because the systems in the government system is a little bit corrupt.
Okay.
So it's hard for them to account for the assistance they get, that they are given as a government to support. But I won't say that government necessarily don't need that assistance. It's more of accountability, because what the government can do by its own in terms of the resources they have that they collect from the taxes might not be enough compared to what the other external countries that have a lot of resources can give. So the positive effect will be speedy growth of development, infrastructure, good education systems and schools can be built because of that. So the government plays the key role of connecting the people who don't have and those who have. So the government plays a role of being the intermediary person, linking all these resources to those who need. So if there is breakage of a system in the government structure where there is loophole in accountability in terms of corruption, then the people who don't have will not be in a position to come out of that level of poverty.
Okay, so the other angle is the bottom-up solution. Let me ask a question. Before I talk about the bottom-up issue, let me ask you a question. Do you see yourselves, because you guys live here, you guys live within this extreme poverty. Sociologists define extreme poverty as people who live on either less than $1 a day or $2 a day, okay? Yeah. So this is your reality. The question I've got then is, do you see yourselves as victims?
Us also, we are a victim because we are born and raised here. The challenges that people in the room are facing, even us, we face the same. So we are a victim of the same. Because most of us, we are living on less than $1 per day. Even the jobs, the kind of jobs that we are doing here in Huruma, they are not that well paid. And majority of those who are living in Huruma are widows or single women, and the only job that they can find is washing clothes to the neighborhoods, and they are paid less than 200 per day. And being the cost of living in Kenya now, it's very high. Even that 200 per day is not enough. So in Huruma, people are living in the extreme poverty, and we are a victim, because you have a small thing to eat and your neighbor doesn't have anything to eat, so you have to share. And when you share out, even you'll have to squeeze yourself so that you can share the little that you have there. Yeah, and then
So there are some people who maybe live in a more capitalistic society, and they say, well, the reason why the only reason why people are poor is that they're lazy. Would you say you're lazy in Huruma?
we are not lazy, we are hard workers. It's only that some of us doesn't get good education to grant them good jobs. And also nowadays in Kenya, white collar jobs are very minimal. So it's us to be creative and also to have businesses to sustain us. Yeah.
So the other thing that some people say is, well, if you stopped having so many babies, there wouldn't be this huge, vast population of people in poverty. So stop having as many babies. So how do you answer that one?
Okay. Number of babies also can add something to be can make a life to be difficult, because the size of the family that you have will make you chip in with a lot of money in terms of food, in terms of clothes, in terms of education, because the fewer number you have, the good life you can live. So it's upon individual to plan his family or her family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question, and I'll just ask you three, okay? You guys all have children. Why? I mean, look at your reality. Why would you bring a child into this situation?
One reason is that we want to fulfill biblically, because it's biblical that we should have children. The other thing is, even if you take too long, you're waiting for poverty to end, you'll get old in the process, and maybe it's like time will be up. You'll get children, and maybe your menopause catches up with you as you are trying to wait for poverty to end. So it is like a fulfillment of life. It's not like we are so happy when our children come up with this life, but what we do is that we strain to bring them in a more better life than we were brought up in. That is in maybe provision of food. We try to, at least for them, we give them a better life than ours. Yeah.